So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our Lebron Era rebuild series, and today it's going to be the Detroit Pistons. The 2010-2011 season for Detroit was not a very kind one. This team won only 30 games, and it really felt like it was an end of an era in some way. Now, of course, this team was not competing for championships. We are many years beyond their championship back in 2004, but there are certainly still some older pieces here that were definitely looking to be competitive at this stage of their careers. Now, unfortunately, they were not really able to do that. Rip Hamilton was the highest overall on this team. This was his last season in Detroit. He spent 2 years in Chicago after this and then retired from the NBA. So him, many other guys, we're going to have some tough decisions to make on the future of these players today. My goal is to obviously turn this thing around and get this team a championship. I got a lot of requests to do the Pistons, and that's why we are here doing them today. Let me know which team you want to see next, along with any other rebuild ideas down below in the comment section. You guys have given me a lot, to kind of figure out lately in terms of video ideas, and I really do appreciate it. So let's keep hearing those rebuilds. I think you guys are got some really good ideas. I really do appreciate it. But excited for this one today, man. This team definitely needs some work. Let's get into it. Let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at this team and the roster that we are currently working with. As I mentioned, this team won only 30 games. It's a very interesting mix because there are some, younger pieces here that maybe have a bit of potential, but the majority of this team as its core are kind of all older and kind of have seen their best years, in the rearview mirror, if you will. So let's get into it. We'll go position by position. We will discuss and figure out what we think is going to be a positive and what we think is going to be a negative. So, starting out here at the point guard spot, Rodney Stuckey is only 24. I believe, actually, technically speaking, led this team in scoring or was second. He was pretty good for him. Now, he's only 24. He is an 80 overall, which is nice. Can he be a starting point guard on an eventual championship caliber team? I don't know if that's going to be the case, but again, he's a solid player, and I'm certainly not just going to give him away for nothing. So we're definitely going to see how his development goes. Now, behind him, we don't really have, any real point guards whatsoever. So that's, of course, certainly something we will be taking a look at. Now, the shooting guard spot. We talked about Rip Hamilton a little bit in the intro. His best years were certainly behind him at this point. It's unfortunate. This was his last year as a Piston in real life. Will it be his last year here in 2K? Honestly, I don't really know. So we're, again, going to have to figure it out. I'm not going to give him up for nothing, but again, I don't think he's getting much better as he enters his age 32, 33 season. Now, Tracy McGrady's here. 31-year-old T-Mac was nothing special, to be completely honest with you. He's a 77 overall. He's an expiring contract. And quite honestly, I have no idea what my plan is with him here today. Ben Gordon also here, a pretty solid backup shooting guard option, certainly making a decent amount of money, and then three players who, of course, are not real. Now, the small forward spot is just absolutely dead. It's, I don't know who the hell Danny Wise is. I'm pulling up the thing right now. I forget. There's a player here. Yeah, Tayshaun Prince is supposed to be on this team. He's not. It's like the one notable name missing. It's unfortunate. He definitely would have helped at our small forward spot, but yeah, 868 overall. Danny Wise is not going to be my guy. Now, the power forward spot, you got two real players, actually three real players here. Charlie Villanueva, Jason Maxiell, and DeJuan Summers. Probably not, none of the three are going to be starting for me long term, but, two multi-year contracts here with Villanueva and Maxiell. It certainly could be worse. And then finally, the center spot. Greg Monroe, I believe, was 6th in Rookie of the Year this season, so maybe the one young bright spot on this team. Then, on the other side of the spectrum, we have a 36-year-old Ben Wallace, who's certainly, approaching that 18th hole pretty damn quickly. So that's the team. They're not great. They won 30 games. There's a reason for that. And again, we're going to have to be kind of careful with the way we go about this because there are some talented players here. We just have to keep an eye on, the contracts, the years, the age, everything like that. So definitely we'll be making some trades before we get into year number 1. Our first trade of today's video is going to come with the Minnesota Timberwolves. We are going to be sending out Tracy McGrady and whoever the hell Danny Wise is, and in return, we're getting ourselves a 23-year-old Michael Beasley. Now, I moved T-Mac to the small forward spot. He jumped up 2 overalls. Ultimately, he's not getting any better as this video goes on. He's an expiring deal, whereas Michael Beasley is already an overall higher. He, of course, is significantly younger and has a year of team control after this. So, Michael Beasley's never going to be, any sort of superstar long-term for us, but he's a good plug-and-play for now. And again, the youth movement and having a year of team control is really beneficial. So getting him without giving up a draft pick feels like a really big win for me. We are in pretty desperate need of a backup point guard, and we are going to find the answer to that in a deal here with the Miami Heat. Now, DeJuan Summers was kind of the third power forward on this team. He's also expiring, so we were pretty easily able to move off of him. And in return, we're going to land ourselves Eddie House, who I think could be a nice piece off the bench for us, kind of leading that second unit, can be a floor spacer. Is 32 years old, so that's maybe the one downside, but the multi-years of team control, I think, is going to be really beneficial for us. So he'll be the new backup behind Rodney Stuckey here at our point guard spot. Again, Stuckey is an expiring player after this season, so that's certainly something we're going to keep an eye on as well. But at this point, we have 9 out of 10 rotation pieces if we want it. I am also going to consider a a Ben Wallace trade, just considering where his age is at. But again, I know I might have some Pistons fans jumping down my throat for that one. So I'm not sure what move will be next, but obviously, you guys will see it. We are moving off of a franchise legend, a franchise icon, Ben Wallace. Of course, one of the greatest defensive players in the history of basketball. But he's 36, and he's not getting any younger. He's certainly not getting any better, and I really don't think his impact as a 10, 12-minute-a-night backup center would have really been felt here for the one season he likely would have been with our team. So we're sending him to Indiana. In return, we're getting ourselves Dante Jones. Whether or not Jones is going to be on this team long-term is very much up in the air, but he's multiple-year contract, of course, the same overall, and again, a very big position of need. So that solidifies my backup small forward spot behind Michael Beasley. We desperately now need to find ourselves a new backup center, which again, kind of just kicking the can down the road in terms of only having 9 out of 10 positions filled on this team. But I don't know if there are any, this game makes it so challenging sometimes because, of course, these aren't even real people that I'm trading here. And I'm really just trying to find a 72 overall backup center who doesn't even really need to be that damn good. But I just need him to be a real person. I absolutely refuse to... Oh, Brad Miller. Okay, Brad Miller might be my answer. Again, he's not a perfect fit, but for one season, it's fine by me. All right, Brad Miller, welcome to the team. Again, I don't love giving up second-round draft picks even for things as, minimal as a backup center. But again, at least he's a real person. All right, year one is here. I do want to check. Do we have our first-round pick? We do, which is very big news. And I'm not saying we're going to suck, but it's certainly within the realm of possibility that it is the case. So it's an insurance policy at the worst. At the best, it'll probably be a pretty high draft pick. But let's set that rotation here for year number 1. It is now time for the first season here in Detroit. We decided not to move on from Rip Hamilton. We did end up making a couple of other impactful trades, but I think the moves that we made are really going to benefit us a couple years from now. They're probably not going to help us win more games in year 1, but ultimately I think I'm fine with that because no matter what we did, I don't think this team is going to really be competing for anything in year 1. Rodney Stuckey, Rip Hamilton, Michael Beasley, Charlie Villanueva, and Greg Monroe, the 1 through 5. Probably not any major surprises there. Bench unit will be led by Ben Gordon. He'll be our 6th man. Newly acquired Dante Jones at my backup 3. You got Eddie House, of course, backing up the point guard spot for us. Brad Miller, our new 5. And then Jason Maxiell at the backup power forward spot. So that's the team. It is what it is. We're not necessarily great. We do have some okay quality depth. I wouldn't say it's great depth, but again, it's better than what we certainly could have. So this is how it's going to look. I am not sure how this season will go. It definitely could go, any way, shape, or form, and I don't really think I'd be surprised without any outcome. So I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. I said I wouldn't really be surprised by any outcome. This one may be a bit shocking, but I guess in the bigger picture, it's probably the best case scenario for us. We won only 18 games. It's 12 worse or 12 less than they actually did in real life. And, while it's not fun to win 18 games throughout an 82-game regular season, I think, again, when we take a step back and really look at the situation at hand, it could have been one of the better things possible. 2011 draft is loaded. Of course, we're going to have a relatively high pick. Hopefully, we get lucky in the lottery. Now, Dwayne Wade is out here winning MVP awards. Insane numbers, especially with, a guy named LeBron James playing next to him. Boogie Cousins, Manu Ginobili, Dwight Howard, Marcin Gortat, George Karl. Okay, we're not going to be competing in the playoffs. That's not really a big surprise to anybody after, saying we won 18 games. We were at the bottom of the East, and we actually had the worst record in the league. So 2K want to be nice to me, give me the number 1 overall pick. I certainly would not be complaining. Now, here are the numbers. Let's dive into it. Michael Beasley looks like a pretty good trade that we made. Tracy McGrady, who is on pretty much his last legs, in terms of being anything impactful. Anyways, he's, going to be our leading scorer here. Rip Hamilton, not too bad. Again, we're very much up in the air on what we're going to do with him in terms of his future. Rodney Stuckey, Charlie Villanueva, you got Gordon, Greg Monroe, Jones, House, Miller, and then Maxiell. Led in rebounds by Monroe, led in assists by Rodney Stuckey. Okay. I don't know if this will be the only season we miss the playoffs. I hope it is, but again, we're going to have a lot of work to do if we want to actually be competitive next year. And the 2011 finals ends the same way. The Dallas Mavericks winning it all. Dirk Nowitzki with one of the crazier rings of all time. It wasn't a sweep, obviously, in real life, but same results at the end of the day. All right, Brad Miller does end up calling it a career. I could override it and trade him. I typically tend to not do that. He was a replacement at the backup center spot, and it was, again, not any sort of 3-year plan. So we'll let him ride off into the sunset. Any other Pistons here? Doesn't really look like it. Cool with me. Shaq going into the Hall of Fame. Oh, shit, Ben Wallace did retire. I didn't even notice that. Well, I guess we swapped out one old aging backup center that retired for another. Historic changes, nothing there for us. And then this is, of course, a very, very pivotal point of this video. Now, we are projected the number 1 overall pick, of course, a 25% chance of landing it in 2K. I'm begging you to be nice to me today, man. I have fallen to like number 5 way too many times. Please don't do it. We end up at 2. Okay, I can live with 2. I can live with 2. 1 would have been, you know, chef's kiss, cherry on top. 2 is not too bad. I can survive that. Who is the head coach here? Brad Nelton, you are not the head coach of this team, and goodbye. I'm going to pass on getting... I don't want Stauffer. I get him too much. I think Jacob Underwood could be, you know, successful with us. He's not a guy I get a ton. The problem is that any of the coaches here, like Mike D'Antoni's ratings aren't really great. A lot of these guys, like Tyson Rivers, actually, who are you? Any relation to Doc? That certainly would make me a bit nervous. All right, it's going to be between Rivers, I think, and then I'll also throw a contract here at Underwood. So if either one of these guys wants to accept, we get them both. I think as a whole, maybe Rivers is a little bit more well-balanced. Underwood appears to be a little bit more offensive-focused, and again, his potential super high. But I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Rivers. Not a guy I've really ever gotten before. Maybe we'll have some success. Okay, the number 2 overall pick in the 2011 draft is certainly a very, very big asset. This draft class was absolutely loaded, and honestly, I'd be pretty content with either Kawhi or Kyrie. Of course, we can get whichever one does not go number 1 overall. So, you know, part of me says positional, you know, need. Maybe Kawhi makes a little bit more sense, even though we do have Michael Beasley. I mean, we're kind of set at both the 1 and the 3 for now, but I'm just going to take whichever one of those guys does not go. I'm not going to trade up to number 1. And again, I think that'll be really, really good for us. And then we have the 3rd pick in round 2. So let's see. Who goes number 1 overall? The Washington Wizards are going to go ahead and select Kawhi Leonard. Makes sense. Probably the best player to come out of this class. All right, which means Kyrie Irving is going to be ours. You know, what does that mean for the future of Rodney Stuckey? I really don't know. But Kyrie Irving is, of course, you know, leaps and bounds and levels ahead in terms of talent. So I'm cool with that. Any real players here? I see Corey Joseph sitting here. You know, again, at least he's a real person. And I guess he's going to be the guy we go ahead and pick. Corey Joseph, welcome to Detroit. Okay, going to be a 79 overall for Kyrie, a 69 overall for Joseph. Beasley's brought back. Neither of these two will be. Qualifying offers. I'm not going to let Rodney Stuckey just leave. He'll certainly be here. And he's qualified. So do we have any other major free agents? Again, I'm not really sure what our cap situation is looking like. And we definitely have some other tough decisions to sort out as well. So it is time for some trades. We are certainly going to get into it. We're making a trade here with the Chicago Bulls. We're going to pick up Luol Deng. Now, coincidentally, you know, Rip Hamilton spent his final 2 NBA seasons in Chicago. This is just, you know, one of those funny coincidences that is going to land him with the team he, of course, ended up with. So we're sending out 2 33-year-olds, and in return, we're getting a 26-year-old, 82 overall Luol Deng and a first-round pick in 2015. Now, I don't really know if Luol Deng is going to be, you know, the make-or-break piece that makes this team a contender, but he's certainly an upgrade in this starting 5. And my plan as of now, you know, we'll see how this one ends up working out, but it's just to move Beasley to the power forward spot. He's 6'9". I think he'll be a fine fit there. I'm hoping his overall doesn't tank. He goes down to a 79. I don't really think that's going to be, you know, again, the make or break for us. And again, he will be a free agent after this season as well. So I'm excited about Luol Deng. I think he's going to be a great addition defensively. His offensive numbers have been pretty solid as well. And I think, again, he's going to be a really nice fit in the starting 5. So, you know, that's one trade down. I do think there's at least one more to go. Of course, we now have a pretty gaping hole at the shooting guard spot. No disrespect to Ben Gordon, but definitely another area we'd like to upgrade. It is certainly not a 3-year plan for us at the shooting guard spot, but OJ Mayo will come in. He'll be a nice kind of placeholder for a year, if you will. So we're going to sign him to a 3-year deal worth roughly $13.5 million. Now, we're going to wait on Rodney Stuckey. Of course, he is going to go ahead and get paid at some point. We'll just match whatever offer he does get. If not, let's see, is this real? Okay, he actually may accept that. So I have to just make sure. Oh, shit. He did not going to let me pay him. Fuck. All right, well, this could put me in a tricky spot. Yeah. All right, I don't think it's going to let me sign Mayo right now, so Stuckey's going to be my priority 100%. I'm going to match this contract, and then if the game lets me sign Mayo, I'll, of course, still do it. I just don't think it will. Yeah, it does not, will it? Oh, no, it will. Okay, cool. Totally fine by me. All right, so we actually ended up getting everything we wanted. Now, we have 2 point guards here. I'm, of course, going to be starting Kyrie over Stuckey. He'll just lead the second unit, and then Mayo, and going to keep, Ben Gordon here. For now, the small forward spot will be Deng, and then Jones, then, Beasley, Villanueva, and we still have Max Seal, who definitely could be a trade piece, whether it's for a backup center or something, but I think he definitely is a guy we'll move off of. So who the hell is Patrick Strickland? Why do they give these fake players unbelievable contracts? Just give me a center, please. Brandon Haywood, ugh, not really what I'm looking for there. How about if I just do Max Seal instead? Any other centers that I'm being offered? Joel Anthony. It's actually not a horrible addition. I think I could survive that again. We get offered Haywood. All right, we'll take this deal here with the Miami Heat. Pick up Joel Anthony again. He has a multiple-year contract, so I guess in some sense of it, we actually are making a better long-term decision. But we're going to move off of whoever the hell Nikola Allen is. I mean, good God. This game and their fucking fake players. And then Patrick Strickland. Anybody? Second-round pick? Anybody want to be really stupid and give me a first? All right, well, I guess I can't get too ahead of myself. Thank you very much, Houston. See you guys at the start of year 2. Year 2 in Detroit. First season was not successful whatsoever. It sucked. It is what it is. Now, we have established a pretty good core. I think this team has a lot of potential and quite a bit of promise. Now, does that mean we're going to be competitive here? I don't know if that'll be the case, but again, I think it's a possibility. Kyrie Irving, OJ Mayo, Luol Deng. Now, I'm starting Beasley at the 4. Villanueva is up to an 82, though, so I don't know if that's actually the best decision, but it's the one we're going with for now. And Luol Deng's also up to an 85, which is just, again, fantastic news for us. Still got Monroe at the center spot. Bench unit will be led by Rodney Stuckey. You got Charlie Villanueva behind him. Ben Gordon still in here. Dante Jones, Joel Anthony rounding out the 10-man. So I think we'll be better than last year. It would be pretty hard not to be. Again, I don't know if we'll be anywhere near the top of the East, but again, moving in the right direction is all we can really ask for. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. Dwayne Wade is just running the MVP department in this video. That is officially back-to-back MVP awards for Flash. Okay, we go 49-33. It's a much better season than year 1. It was kind of hard to be worse. I would have been very disappointed if we were, but again, just small baby steps getting there. Kawhi Leonard went number 1 overall. Would have been nice to have him, but we got a guy by the name of Kyrie Irving who's pretty damn good himself. Ramon Sessions coming off the bench in Philadelphia is your 6th man of the year. You got Dwight Howard winning another DPOY, DJ Most Improved, and Scott Brooks, 67 and 15 there. Wow, that's an insane season in Oklahoma City. Okay, let's go over the numbers real quick. We ended up as the 5 seed here. We're going to have the Orlando Magic in round 1. Here is a look at the West. Let's talk about some of the numbers. Again, that's playoff numbers, numbnuts. Let's talk about some of the numbers for this team, see where we're at. Kyrie as a rookie led this team in scoring. Michael Beasley, not too far behind him. You got Luol Deng, Mayo, Stuckey, Villanueva, Monroe, Gordon, Jones. You see the picture. Led in rebounds by Monroe, led in assists by Kyrie. So we are in the playoffs. Pretty good news. Here's a look at Orlando. Definitely have the best player in the series. No doubt about that. Pretty good surrounding core for Dwight Howard here, and let's just see what happens. Maybe we get the upset done. I don't know. We lose the first 2 on the road, win Game 3 in Detroit and Game 4. We go down 3-2, and we force Game 7, and we lose Game 7. Wow, the home team won all 7 games of the series we just played. We were getting smoked by Miami. Oh, wow, Orlando actually beat Miami, and I don't know if anybody was beating the Thunder. I've gotten a decent amount of requests to do the Thunder rebuild. It's coming soon. I know a lot of people want to see it. Other end of the spectrum, some people are like, that's going to be the easiest rebuild of all time. Please delay that. So I know there are very mixed feelings about that one that eventually, of course, will be a video. All right, we are going to enter the final offseason. We have some decisions to make. I think, again, in some sense of it, that season maybe exceeded my expectations a bit. I wouldn't say that we necessarily are super close to contending, but we're not nearly as far as we could have been. So, draft lottery, of course, we will not be in it. We're going to have the 22nd overall pick, which I likely will use. Now, will that player end up staying on this team or even being a rotation piece? That, of course, is very much up in the air. But let's take a look here. We also have number 17 and 22 in round 2. So maybe, you know what I do here? Maybe I try to move up a bit. Because, of course, I don't need all 3 of these picks. So 22, 17, and then 22 in round 2. Let's see. Can I maybe move up to, like, I think 11 might be a stretch. But if there's any way to get it done with seconds, I would certainly do it. Not giving up anything besides seconds at this point. So if they don't take it at 11, we'll just go down the list. They take it at 11. Absolutely beautiful. So who are we selecting with the 11th overall pick? Oh, boy. Okay. There are some okay NBA players here. Dion Waiters was a bucket at one point. John Henson also sitting here. Now, center might be a bigger position of need, but I feel like drafting the highest overall might be more beneficial. So I don't know if that'll be Dion Waiters. You know, from this list, Evan Fournier, Jay Crowder, Aaron Baines, of course, all quality NBA players, but I'm just going to go with Dion Waiters, who was an absolute bucket at one point. He truly was. He's going to be a 74 overall. Not bad. Monroe, Jones actually accepts his player option, and then we're going to pick up the option on Joseph. Could just be a trade piece. Michael Beasley will be hitting restricted free agency. And then, of course, here we are in free agency with probably not a lot of money to spend yet. No, we do not have any. Okay, it is definitely time to get into the trade market. We need a big upgrade in this starting 5, and I think Joakim Noah would be exactly that. Now, Rodney Stuckey has actually been pretty good for us throughout this video, but ultimately, Kyrie Irving was starting for us last year. He was obviously going to start for us next year, and his overall is going to do nothing but go up. And I'm not saying Stuckey would have regressed, but he can be a piece that we can move in terms of getting a better starting center. And we're going to find that in a deal here with the Chicago Bulls landing Joakim Noah, also getting Taj Gibson here. in this trade. So nothing wrong with Greg Monroe. We were just looking for a little upgrade. Monroe will kind of anchor that second unit. And then again, Joakim Noah, who is probably in the Defensive Player of the Year conversations at this point, is a very nice and very welcomed upgrade with this group. So that's one trade down. I still do think there's one or two more to go. Okay, we pulled off a big one with Toronto. We landed ourselves a major upgrade at our starting shooting guard spot. DeMar DeRozan going to be coming into this team, pairing up in the backcourt with Kyrie Irving. We gave up a whole lot to get him, but I think it was very, very well worth it. All right, that's a huge addition to this team. We do need to find ourselves a backup for Kyrie. Of course, Ben Gordon could maybe be a little bit expandable now, and/or Dion Waiters. Do it to find ourselves a new backup three, but I'm really excited. And again, we still have to re-sign Michael Beasley as well, so maybe even Taj Gibson is a movable piece as well, or I could just maybe move Beasley back. That's what I'll probably do. I'll re-sign Beasley, just move him to the backup three. He'll be the backup for Deng. We'll hang on to Gibson. Ooh, do I want to start Villanueva, though? That is the question, because he didn't start last year. Of course, it was a questionable decision, to have him come off the bench, but I think I'm comfortable enough. I think Villanueva will do well. I think this team has enough depth. I really do. At this point, I actually may bank on the potential of Waiters a little bit over Ben Gordon. I don't need to move him, but I definitely could be convinced. If there's a point guard like Jose Calderon would be a really solid backup, I'm going to do that deal. I am. All right, Jose Calderon in the one first-round pick we had remaining. Welcome to the team. He'll be the backup behind Kyrie. Dion will be backing up tomorrow. Of course, we're going to go ahead and really quickly re-sign Michael Beasley. Definitely don't renounce him. God, this fucking game is so stupid sometimes. Beasley's here. Is it going to let me pay him? It will. Okay, let's just pay Michael Beasley. Welcome back. All right, Michael Beasley moved back to the backup small forward spot. We now have a new and final 10-man rotation. I, again, am really hoping it is good enough, but I'm feeling pretty confident with this team. I'll see you guys at the start of the third and final season. It's year 3 here in Detroit. It is now or never. It is championship or bust, and here's how it's going to look for the season. Kyrie Irving, DeMar DeRozan, Luol Deng, Charlie Villanueva, who, by the way, is up to an 84 overall. Really didn't see that coming, but he has certainly, earned his way into the starting 5. And then Joakim Noah, of course, anchoring down this center spot for us, a major upgrade here as well. Bench unit has also gotten better. Michael Beasley now slides into a 6-man spot. We moved Monroe to the backup center spot, traded for Jose Calderon, added Taj Gibson, and drafted Dion Waiters. I think this is easily the best team yet. I am really hoping it is enough to beat, the Orlandos and the Miamis of the world, and hopefully not run into an Oklahoma City team in the NBA Finals. But I'm excited. I'll see you guys at the end of the third and final season. Now, we thought this team had a chance to be really special, and oh boy, were they. 71-11 here in the final season. Just a crazy year-over-year improvement, and I think this team could be a championship winner. I really do. Now, Russell Westbrook winning an MVP award. You got Anthony Davis, member of the Los Angeles Clippers, your Rookie of the Year. Chris Kaman, 6th Man of the Year, backing up Dwight Howard. Timmy D wins Depoy. You got Eric Maynor wins Most Improved, and yeah, Tyson Rivers, again, hopefully no relation to Doc, your Coach of the Year. Okay, let's go talk about it. Here are the standings. We were, leaps and bounds better than everybody in the East. Here is a look at the West again. Potential finals matchup with Oklahoma City makes me unbelievably nervous, but to be the best, you got to beat the best. Kyrie, DeMar, Luol Deng, Charlie Villanueva was awesome. Beasley, Noah, Monroe, Waiters, Calderon, and then Gibson. Led in rebounds by Noah, led in assists by Kyrie. So we're facing Orlando here. Okay, they lost White. That's why Chris Kaman was backing up Marcin Gortat. Well, he was the backup center. I think significant. Okay, 2K. Don't do this shit with me today. I'm not in the mood. Up 3-2 at this point. We win the series in 6. Thank you. Now moving on to Cleveland. Mo Williams, J.R. Smith, Jay Crowder in here. J.J. Hickson, Anderson Varejao. No disrespect. There's no reason I should really be nervous about this. So thank you for taking care of the Celtics. I appreciate it, but you're not going to be able to beat us. Okay, not yet anyways. Thank you. East Finals. The Miami Heat. They have a 69 overall, bald, auto-generated player at the point guard spot, but the 3 next to him are pretty damn good. You got Darko in here at the starting 5. Oh, boy. A lot of interesting white dudes right here. All right, let's head into the Eastern Conference Finals. Again, no doubt in my mind, Miami has the best 2 players in the series. We are a little bit more well-rounded, though. It is time for the NBA Finals, and surprise, surprise, it is the Oklahoma City Thunder, who always find a way to bring in Zach Randolph. It never surprises me. Like, when I do this Thunder rebuild, I almost am going to be, deterred from bringing in Zach Randolph just because I see it so much. This team's incredibly talented. I think they're better than us. It doesn't surprise. Oh, boy. Okay, fight back a little bit. Come on. Come on. Let's see if we can come back from being down 3-0. That would certainly, make my day if it was possible. Hanging on here. In Detroit, we're going to be winning this one. So back to Oklahoma City we go. 136 points back in 2013 would be, outlandish. All right. we are obviously do or die at this point. We are fighting hard and fighting back and forth. And are we going to be able to kind of maintain something here to maybe get this thing close? Oh, my God. Fuck. All right, I'll see you in there. 3 minutes left to go here. Of course, we lose this game. Our season is over. We win this game. We're going back to Detroit here for a Game 7. I need to play some of the best 2K I've ever played in my life right now. Kyrie gets the easy layup, makes it a 4-point game. I'm feeling pretty good about that. All right, let's lock in. I'm sure many of you are aware I'm not great at this game. So I'm going to be a little bitch. I'm going to play off ball because I don't want to cover any one of the 3 MVPs that are on this team right now. That doesn't really feel like a smart plan for me mathematically. So we're, oh boy. Oh boy. I probably should have moved on to KD, but I did not. All right, well, it is now a 7-point ball game. I, again, am going to try to be as smart as I possibly can with what I'm doing. Kyrie's just going to get another lane. No foul there. No call. All right. 5-point game. We got to, again, kind of lock in on the defensive end right now. I'm going to play off ball because I think that's where I have the most success. I'm not saying it's, a perfect plan, but it's the one that I think, again, probably makes the most sense. All right. What the hell? KD missed. Thank God. All right. Give Kyrie Irving the ball. Okay. Kyrie's over here. Kyrie Irving. Let's put the moves here on Russ. Russ. Okay. He's going to be able to stick with me there. That's not what I meant to do. Villanueva. A little screen here from Charlie. Come on. Luol Deng. Little jump shot gets that one in. Okay. We're in a 1-possession game. It is a 3-point ball game, and we are hanging tough. We are hanging tough here. Thunder were once up 3-0 in this series. We are on the verge of potentially forcing a Game 7. We're going to hang in the corner with KD. They're going to off-ball screen to try to get him an open shot. They don't get it. Big block by Noah. Oh, no. Oh, my God, he missed. Get a fucking rebound. Blocked again. Oh, my God. Joakim Noah was the greatest trade I have ever made in my life. DeMar, get down. Get downhill. DeMar. Oh, my God. Joakim Noah is... Get a fucking rebound. Oh, my God. This is insane. This is insane. All right, got to focus. We are not winning this game at the moment. We have got to keep the defensive, intensity at an all-time high. They're going to give KD the ball, which they probably should have done every single possession. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're not getting... Oh. The problem is, if I play on ball, it's going to be even worse. I just know that for a fact. I just 100% know that. Joakim, give me... Kyrie. Oh, I thought I had an offensive rebound. I was going for the, not the kill shot, but the one that certainly would have tied the game and benefited us greatly. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Might be GG's. We're not dead 100%, but KD is just doing what Kevin Durant does, and he is just taking over this ball game, and I am in panic mode at this point. I really am. I got to be smart with my possessions here. I don't want to waste the possession, but I also have to consider the fact that that's a horrible shot, isn't it? Yeah. Well, this one is officially over, my friends. Harden going to go down, get the layup. Good night. So close, but yet so far. We do not end up clutching it out. We thought we had it there for a minute, and they still give Russell Westbrook Finals MVP. I don't even want to know what KD's numbers were, but he probably deserved it. All right, sad way to end a really fun rebuild. We put together a hell of a team, and we came about as close as you can get without actually winning one. But you guys know me. I always show you the good, I show you the bad, and I show you the ugly. There is nothing about it that I hide from you people. So this one was a lot of fun, though. We put together a really good Pistons team after starting out with, not so talented team. And I'm pretty proud of the result. So wish we could have done more. Wish we could have gotten that championship. But damn, just so damn close. All right, man. I hope you guys still enjoyed. As always, let me know any other rebuilds down below in the comment section. We are pretty much, open to anything you guys are really looking to see. As of now, it's been about 3 LeBron Era rebuilds a week, an off-season rebuild, and then a challenge typically on Thursdays. But having a lot of fun with this schedule. It seems like you guys have been as well. So that'll do it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.